From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories from Monday, September 17th, more troubling news from the Delaware Psychiatric Center. A luxury liner visits Delaware, and a day for kids in Wilmington. Here are the details. A psychiatric resident with a felony drug conviction who was hired by the Delaware Psychiatric Center in July has lost his Delaware medical license. Adam Scioli was charged with selling a potential date rape drug to an undercover police officer in November 2004. He was sentenced to 2 months in jail and is on probation, according to court records. But in July, Scioli began a new residency program in psychiatry at DPC. This week, the status of Scioli's Delaware medical license changed from active to null and void. State Division of Professional Regulation Director James Collins says the license was a training license and was institution-specific. Senator Biden continued pushing his suggestions on the war in Iraq from the campaign trail yesterday. WDEL's Brian Smith reports.
Biden has made no secret of his disagreements with the war's direction. Speaking on Fox News Sunday, he told host Chris Wallace that he continues to believe the Bush administration's strategy will not work.
The fundamental strategic strategy Gates and everyone else clings to is that there's a possibility to establish a strong central government in Iraq. That will not happen in your lifetime. It will not happen. And today's op-ed piece by Henry Kissinger reinforces that. There is no possibility. They have no political strategy.
Biden also spoke briefly about reports that former federal judge Michael Mukasey could be nominated for the Attorney General's post.
The truth is I don't know anything about him. I mean, I know the name, but I don't know anything about him. And as long as he can assert, and I believe that he understands he's not just the president's lawyer, but the country's lawyer, I could support him. But I don't know enough about him. He has to pass that test for me, go through that filter.
Brian Smith, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Imagine the Hotel DuPont on water. That was the scene as the largest luxury cruise ship to ever dock at the Port of Wilmington came to Delaware. WDEL's Ken Grant has more.
Mayor James Baker and City Councilman Mike Brown welcomed the largest cruise ship the Port of Wilmington has ever seen on Saturday. The Aurora has a crew of 900 with nearly 2,000 passengers.
She is 271 meters in length. I should know what the feet equivalent is, but I haven't got it readily to hand. And she's the size to go through the Panama Canal. So she's 110 feet beam, which you can just squeeze through the Panama Canal.
Once passengers cleared customs, they made their way to more than 30 buses to take them on tours throughout the region. And as ship's captain Paul Brown noted, he's among those who are ready to take advantage of Delaware's tax-free shopping.
But I am looking forward to hopefully spending a little time in the Christiana Mall and spending a few of my dollars.
Mayor Baker said he hopes to welcome more cruise ships to the Port of Wilmington.
This should be a major cruise ship stop, and it's so much easier for people to move their passengers. Tax-free shopping. If they want to gamble, they can do that. They want to just see all the history of the United States. It's in this area right here. So I think it's perfect for Wilmington to be a cruise ship stop.
It's exciting to see a ship of this magnitude dock in our fair city. And the folks who own it are from another country, and they want to come and see what Wilmington is all about. And this is what we've been saying, that Wilmington is a place to be somebody.
Ken Grant, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Coming up, supporters of Sunday bus service want to be heard. WDEL News continues in a moment.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Did you know that Wilmington College has been preparing students for careers in media arts and technology over the past 7 years? Enjoy hands-on experience and personal attention from instructors drawn straight from the industry. To learn more, visit wilmcol.edu. Wilmington College. Achieve balance, achieve success.
People pushing for the restoration of Sunday bus service in Newcastle County plan to make themselves heard tomorrow at a public hearing hosted by DART. Advocates say the lack of service discriminates against the elderly, those with limited income, and people without access to a car. Without Sunday bus service, they say people miss out on jobs, religious services, and recreation. Members of the campaign to restore Sunday bus service will testify at the public hearing tomorrow morning at the Carville State Office building in Wilmington. They say they have more than 1,500 people who have signed a petition calling for Sunday service. The hearing is the first of 4 scheduled by DART. Kids were the focus on Saturday as the Day for Kids celebrated Delaware's youth. WDEL's Erica Guidetti has more.
Games, toys, science, and much more were available to children and their parents at the Day for Kids. Parents and children enjoyed many exciting events sponsored by businesses and organizations all across the state of Delaware. The day is designed for kids to have fun with their parents and stress to parents the importance of spending quality time with their kids all the time, not just on special occasions. Kate Baker-Frawley, Director of Events for the Delaware Boys and Girls Club, hopes that parents will learn from this event.
I hope parents learn how important it is to spend quality time with your children, not just birthdays every day. And I want everyone to know about the great things that the Boys and Girls Club do within the state. We have over 40 sites throughout the state. 1 in every 4 school kids is a member at one of our clubs. And so I just want to make sure everyone has a good time and learns about the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Reporting from Wilmington, I'm Erica Guidetti, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Looking to continue the fight against childhood obesity, Lieutenant Governor Carney issued a challenge to a group of third graders. WDEL's Carl Konevsky has that story.
Carney spoke to students at Lombardi Elementary as the school began its 4th year as part of the Lieutenant Governor's Challenge. A group of third graders kicked off the school's participation by showing Carney some of the exercise they get and committing to regular physical activity in an attempt to get free gym equipment for the school. Carney says this is the 5th year for the challenge, and it's not just the students who are athletes that are the focus.
We're trying to get all the kids to find that activity that they really like to do and to make sure that they think about doing it every day. And if they develop that habit, they'll grow up to be healthier adults and more likely to be active as adults.
Carney says getting kids involved in exercise at an early age is a win-win.
It helps the students stay healthier as children, develop good habits as they get older to avoid chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, even certain kinds of cancer, and that lowers healthcare costs for all of us.
Since its inception, about 22,000 students have accepted the challenge to do at least some form of physical activity at least 5 days a week. Reporting from Wilmington, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Well, the Phillies clean up against the Mets. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Delmarva Broadcasting and DelmarvaJobs.com will host the first area-wide virtual job fair. From September 10th through 23rd, browse through hundreds of job listings from dozens of companies and apply immediately online. Visit DelmarvaJobs.com. The Delmarva Virtual Job Fair, presented by the Winner Automotive Group.
I'm Peter MacArthur.
I'm Melanie Armstrong, and here are Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour.
The most complete coverage of the news that matters in Delaware. Every weekday morning, 5:30 till 9 on 1150 AM WDEL.
In WDEL Sports, Greg Dobbs hit a pinch-hit grand slam in the 6th inning, helping the Phillies to a 10-6 win over the Mets and a sweep of the 3-game series. It was also the Phillies' 8th straight win over the Mets this year and leaves them 3.5 games out of first place in the NL East. They're also a game and a half behind San Diego in the wild card race. The Padres won yesterday as well. The Phillies continue their road trip tonight at St. Louis. Kyle Kendrick going for the Phillies against Anthony Reyes. The Eagles looking for their first win of the season tonight against Washington on Monday Night Football. The Eagles lost their season opener on a last-second field goal to Green Bay. Meantime, the Redskins are 1-0 after they kicked a field goal in overtime to beat Miami last week. You can hear the game on WDEL, covered starting at 8:30, right after Delaware Sports tonight, live from Stanley's, which starts at 6:30. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: mostly sunny today, a high 73. Tonight, clear and cool, low 46. Tomorrow and Wednesday, mostly sunny, with highs both days in the mid-70s. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL, or anytime right here at WDEL.com. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.